Hi Flosstube, I'm Rachel, Stitchy Rach here on Flosstube and also on Instagram. It's Thursday the 29th of September and this is a YouTube channel about cross stitch. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It's been a while. I think it's been over a month since I last recorded. If you've been here before, you'll notice change of location. So today my in-laws are coming and so I'm meant to be tidying the spare room, which is where I usually film, and I haven't tidied the spare room, but I knew if I didn't come and get this done it was just going to be another week and probably never happen again. So I'm here. This is going to be all over the place because I haven't made notes. It's been a month, it's a while since I've done it and they're always a mess. And I keep saying like I'm brand new at this. So stick with it, it's going to be a ride today, and I don't think I'm going to edit either because I need to get this done quick so I can go and tidy the spare room. And my husband's staying in London tonight, so I've got the in-laws on my own and their room's a mess and I'm a mess. We'll see, it's all going to be fine, it's all going to be fine. If it's not your first time here, welcome. And if that didn't all put you off, I hope you'll stick around and see what I've got to show everybody. I'm not usually this chaotic. I do usually try and film every 2 weeks, but for some reason September just got away from me and I haven't filmed since the end of August. Somehow children going back to school ends up being in the short term more chaotic than them being at home. I think it's because you're suddenly in a new routine and you're trying to manage that new routine, and there always seems to be loads of meetings at school at the beginning of term about various things. I've got another one of those this evening. My eldest, I've got to go to her school to talk about this coming year and whatnot. So yeah, it's just been really busy and I don't feel like it should be, but it has. So what have I been doing? I have been doing some stitching. And I usually break this down into, let me show you my whips, let me show you this and that. And because it's so long since I did one of these, I'm just going to try something new today. And I'm just going to go in kind of chronological order, roughly, from when I last saw you. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So we'll see if this works. It might be a bit all over the place. It's going to be different. Stick with it. As I say, it might be a bit of a whirlwind and a bit of a mess. Here we go. Here we go. So, when I last saw you, it was a little way before my birthday. So my birthday is the 4th of September. I think it was a little way, maybe even like 2 weeks before my birthday. So maybe I haven't filmed since the middle of August, crikey. But I'm going to pretend like it was nearly September. So last time I saw you, I was talking to you about my birthday new start. Which was, bear with me, With the Needle 2 by Lila's Studio. Sorry there's a bit of glare on that, let me see if I can take it out of the plastic. So I was talking to you about this, and this was my birthday new start, and I was selling it with Crafting Kirsty. So I did start it, and I gave it a week of stitching, but that week turned out to be not the most productive stitching in the world. So Kirsty is way further on this than me. But here is my pitiful birthday start. This is a week's stitching, I promise. That is what I achieved in a week. I think it must be like the worst week stitching ever. In fairness to me, the week of my birthday is the week everyone goes back to school, so there's a lot of finding random bits of sports kit, sorting out name labels on uniforms, packing bags, etc, etc. So yeah, I'll give myself a bit of a break, but it's not the best start ever. Anyway, and I only gave it a week because I'm gonna sneeze, bear with me. Just deciding if there's another one. No, I don't think there is. So, what was I saying? Yes, I only gave this a week because if you've been following my stitching, you know I have a couple of monster goals for this year, and one of them I completed in July, and the second one is still ongoing, and I really, really want to finish it by the end of the year, which I think is looking more possible now. But so I did only give this a week so I could get back on with the goal that I want to achieve. So let's say this is With the Needle 2 by Leela's Studio. I am stitching this on a piece of 38 count linen in the colour Latte by Foxglove and Lace linen. I haven't seen them post any linen on their Instagram for a while actually, so I don't know what's happening there. Hopefully they'll dye some more linen soon. That'd be cool. I am stitching this in all the called for, which are generally classic colourworks, but there is one Gast and some DMC as well. I haven't actually pulled the DMC. This is just I didn't need it for the tiny little bit I stitched. This is actually just the overdyes in there. And I am keeping this in a bag from Penelope's Pocket. So this is living in this bag, which I bought to house it because it was just in a normal bag, and given it was a birthday start I thought it deserved something a little more special. Obviously this is a load of like crowy type blackbirds, so I may actually do a switch around, and my blackbird design piece at the moment is in quite a flowery bag, and I'm wondering if I'll take it out and put it in here and put this in the... It doesn't matter, we'll see. It's probably not going to happen because I don't even have enough time to breathe, let alone faff around the project bags, but in my head that might be what happens. So that's where I got to on my birthday new start. And the other reason I didn't get as far on my birthday new start, and I might have to pause it here to lift this up, but bear with me. I'm getting a great pick of my butt. The other reason I didn't get very far on my birthday new start was because for my birthday, my kids and my husband did good, and I got one of these, which is awesome. I was so chuffed. So yeah, they did good. They did good. It is so cool. So this is the DMC collector's box, and it came with all the 500 colours of standard DMC. So it doesn't come with any light effects or any of the 4,000 numbered variegations or any of the Colaris, but all their standard kind of 6-strand cotton it comes with. It has a bit in the top where you can keep, you know, your bits and pieces. So I've got some needles over here. I've got floss rings that I'm not using. I've got some sulkies and some Krynic in the top as well. And so I'm starting, I keep my thread on bobbins, which I have shown before on my channel. So I was starting to put the bobbins in the drawers. And then I was like, oh, do you know what, this is fancy. And it's so fancy, it deserves a fancy solution. So I did a thing. I went, and I'm sure a lot of you by now have seen Pip and Chip, who do acrylic bobbins, and they initially started selling them for a Bisley filing cabinet. But they now do a range that fit in the drawers for this. So I went and I bought, can you see that? I went and bought their bobbins. So they come with, you can't really see it very well, but in the bottom there is a foam insert that is cut for the size of the drawer, and it has holes in so that all the bobbins sit snugly. I'm not going to turn it upside down because I think the whole thing would fall out, but as you can see I'm holding it nearly vertically and there's no slippage there. But the bobbins are very, very cool. So I have not fully bobbinated the thread that came with this. This is going to be a work in progress. Most of these are still empty, so it's going to be a long-term project, but I have done a few. So there you go, you can see, focus on the bobbin and not on me. It's not going to do it, is it? Come on. I accidentally knocked the focusing, there we go. I accidentally knocked the focusing when I was setting up, so I don't know if it's quite right. Anyway, there you go. So you can see that these bobbins have the number printed on them, and then a surrounding colour that kind of matches the colour of the thread. They're really cool. I am super chuffed with these. So as I say, it's going to be an ongoing project getting everything on this, but I now, I think, have the super fanciest thread storage ever. And for those of you that think, well, that's all very well and good, but lots of colours I use more than once. A few videos ago, now I've dropped that one. I did show how I kind of run a library card checkout system for my floss, and I just have one master set of floss. So I think probably 2 or 3 videos ago I showed that. So you can always go back and have a look at that. Oh no! Oh, they've all fallen out. But they are all still in their foam inserts, but all the drawers have fallen out. Bear with me. Oh, and I'm knocking you as well. Right. See, that is an advertisement for those foam inserts. None of the bobbins have fallen out. Only the drawers. I've got to put the thing down. There we go. Right. Oh. No bobbins or floss boxes were harmed in the making of this video. Okay. So that was my birthday. Super cool. Really chuffed with the box and everything. It looks so smart. Much nicer than the kind of plastic storage boxes I was using before. So yeah, really chuffed with that. So then what did I do? Then I went back to the project I was just talking about, which is my long-term goal for this year. I haven't got any before or after photos today, I'm sorry, I just don't. And that is this. This is Bouncing Babies ABC by Lucy Heaton. This is being stitched for one of my children. I started it I think when they were 1. They've just had their 5th birthday. And last time I saw you, I was on the top row in the corner. So I was up here. So I'd done all the top row apart from the first block in this corner, because I'm going to personalise that, so I've left that to the end. But I was working on this other corner block last time I saw you. And I finished that before the end of August, which I was... Did I? I'm doubting that now. I think I did. I think I finished it before the end of August. I think so, but I don't know. Which was what I wanted to do. If I did finish it before the end of August, I achieved that goal. If I didn't, I didn't. But it is done now. So that was done. And then I moved down. I'm not going to try and show this. It is so massive. But you might see as I kind of moved all the way down to the bottom, which is what I've been working on in the evenings since putting away my birthday start. And I did the other bottom corner. So that was interesting because I stitched the same block twice in a row. I'm going to end up doing that at the end as well, because this block at the bottom corner and the top left corner block match, although I am personalising the top left one, so it might not feel like it. So I did that, and then I moved along to the X block, which I finished this week. Hurrah! Before the end of September. And now I'm underway on the Y block. So I've done all the outline, and I am starting the big capital Y in the top. So I am feeling really good about this. Oh, and I've got itchy nose as well. All the Flosstube faux pas. Again. Oh, crikey. Yeah, I told you. That's what I'm going to call this episode. All the Flosstube faux pas. This Y block is a yo-yo, which is... It kind of looks a bit like a macaroon, to be honest, but with a string. Let's have a look. Yeah, I don't think you can see it down there. There you go. I think it looks like a macaroon with a string. So that's quite a bit of like solid colour block stitching. So I think that will go quite quickly. And these corner blocks, I thought they would, these ones, those stitch up super fast, because this piece has been really variable. Like the xylophone stitched up really fast. That orange, I thought I was going to die. It just took forever. And the egg, oh my god, I felt like I laid that egg personally. I mean, it looks great, but it's really variable how long each block takes. So the corner blocks stitch up quick. I think that yo-yo is going to stitch up quick, having looked at the pattern. It's the Z block. Z is for zebra, and obviously that's just a lot of striping, and it's quite confetti. Let me find the pattern. I'm not going to show you the pattern, but I'm just going to have a look. This is not kept in a fancy project bag. It's kept in one of these cheapy project bags that is completely trashed and the zip's broken. So it's going in the bin once this is finished. It might not be too bad, you know, actually. There's not a lot of shading around the stripes. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how quick the zebra goes. I'm not sure. But anyway, given I now have 4 blocks left, my goal at the beginning of the year was to finish this by the end of the year. And my goal now is to finish this by November, which would just be super, super exciting if I could manage that. What do we think? Oh, when I say by November, I mean by the end of November, so i.e. before the start of December, I would like to have this finished. That would be so cool. I think it's doable. I've just got to like knuckle down to it. As I say, this is Bouncing Babies ABC by Lucy Heaton. I love it because it reminds me of like, you know, Ladybird alphabets from when I was little. It's still available on her website as a PDF download, and I love that because what I love doing my PDF downloads is we have an open fire, which is just these bricks at the edge of the fireplace. And when I finish a page, like when I finished Said It's a Xylophone the other night, and because it's started to get colder at night, we had a fire, and I just throw it in the fire, and it's a really kind of, because obviously I've still got it saved on my hard drive. If I need to print it off again, I can do. But yeah, it's just nice that this project bag was so full at the beginning, and it's just reduced and reduced and reduced to only a few bits of paper left in it. I'm stitching this on 36 count white linen by Zweigart, just their standard white linen, and I'm stitching it in all the called for DNC. I have on some letters switched around the outlines because I felt in some areas, this is charted as an Afghan, so the squares aren't meant to sit next to each other the way they do on my piece, and in some places there were 2 squares next to each other that they were the same colour. So I have done some switching arounds of outlines here and there, but otherwise this is stitched completely as charted. When I've finished it, I'll try and do what I did with my Afghan earlier in the year and try and hang it up so that you can see the whole thing, because it's just so big, it's not really very easy to show while I'm sitting making a floss tube. So that has been the majority of my stitching, but I am really excited about it. You know, and you can feel the finish. I can feel the finish on this now. It's really, really close. It's not really, really close. It's like 2 months stitching, but it's on such a massive piece. I think when you get that close, and this has been a whip now for 4 years, and I have kind of worked steadily on it during that time. So I think, you know, when you get as close as I am on a whip that's so big and has been with you for so long, it does feel like, you know, you're really nearly there, even though there is still quite a lot to do. So excited about that. And then the final thing I have been working on is some out and about stitching. So during term time when my kids have clubs, I have a life that is a lot of waiting around, at swimming, at dancing, at piano, at this, at that, at the other. I spend a lot of time just sitting places waiting. And so I have stitching that I take with me. They're not specifically usually started for out and about things, but some things obviously lend themselves to being stitched out and about than others. I just couldn't take that alphabet with me. It's just too massive, and there's kind of 50 colours in it. You know, just no, it's just not going to happen. So at the moment, I have been stitching on this, which is a Bothy Threads kit. I don't know if it's still available actually, I should check that out. But it's a Bothy Threads kit called the 12 Days of Christmas. And I know what you're thinking, Rachel, that is massive. What are you on about? You can take that out and about. However, I am not stitching it as one big piece. I am stitching it as 12 smalls to make Christmas decorations from. So I have already finished and fully finished the number 1, the partridge in the pear tree, and then I finished 2 turtle doves last year, which is there. But I haven't actually managed to FFO that yesterday, which will be a surprise to none of you that watch me regularly. I am the worst FFO in the world. Not as in terms of the finished project, just in terms of getting around to it. So at the moment, I am stitching away on number 3. So 3 French hens. And this has been my out and about project since the kids went back to school. I know I was stitching away on the Seize the Day, but I just needed a break from that and I wasn't feeling it. And I thought, oh, you know, run up to Christmas. Let's get this one banged out by Christmas. And I think it will be. So since I picked it back up, the chicken was mainly done. It didn't have any legs, so I did its legs. But then all the gold krynic around the outside, and that makes up the number 3, I've done. All that green background and fill-in I've done. So I have made quite a lot of progress on this in the last few weeks. So I'm really pleased with that, actually. So yes, stitching away on that. As I say, this is a Bothy Threads kit. I don't know if it's still available. I will check that out before next time I film as to whether you can still buy this kit. I, however, am not stitching it using the kit materials. So because I think the kit came with a 14 count Ada. Yeah, the kit came with a 14 count Ada. And I just thought that was going to be too big for what I wanted, because I want these to be kind of ornaments. So I'm using an 18 count Ada. They're all full coverage. So I generally stitch on linen, but on full coverage, I'm quite happy to stitch on Ada. Not that there's anything wrong with Ada, I just prefer the look of linen usually on a finished piece, particularly if there's empty space. But if it's full coverage, so obviously fabric's going to be completely covered, I'm quite happy using Ada. I converted all the thread to DMC. So Bothy thread kits, completely understandably, don't give you, I think they use Madeira thread, I don't think they use DMC. And they don't give you the colour numbers, which is fine, I understand why they do that, but I wanted control over this, so I converted everything to DMC. And it also came with that, I don't know if it is DMC, but you know, like DMC metallic or anchor metallic, and I hate it. I just can't stitch with it. It's just horrible. Ugh, not my jam. So I'm using krynic, which, you know, it's still not the best thing in the world, but I'm quite happy stitching with krynic for the sparkle. And then finally, the background of these, I've used an over-dyed for all of them. So I think the blue for the partridge here, I used Classic Colourworks Granny Annie. The light green on the 2 turtle doves, I used, I think it's in this project bag, I used Colour and Cotton Artichoke. And for this, I had quite a few options for this. Dark green, I am using Classic Colourworks Erin Go Green. This is my second skein of this. So, because I take it out and about, I lost the skein of this last week. I don't know where. So I emailed my kids' swimming teacher, because they learn in a private pool, and I was like, is there any chance you found a thing of thread on a cardboard thing? It's a bit random. And she was like, oh, I'm really sorry, I haven't. And it's not in my car. I think I just must have knocked it out of my car, perhaps, because I do stitch in the car. Anyway, it's gone. I can't find it. I've looked like all under the driver's seat and down the sides, and I was really worried because obviously it's an overdyed. I was like, oh god, what if I can't find a similar dye lot? But I am fortunate it's Classic Colourworks, which I don't think, I mean, they do have variations in dye lot, but I think for an overdyed, probably the least. Anyway, it's fine. It matches, it's fine. I can't tell where the new skein came in. not so much it's going to bother me anyway. But I'm enjoying doing, this has more variegation in real life than the camera is showing. Not loads of variegation, it is all very dark, but it does have some. And I just think that's just breaking up the background nicely for me. This one has more variegation in the background. Can you see that? Yeah, there you go. And that just breaks up the background for me more than like a solid colour, but it's all preference. So yes, as I say, I've done my own DMC conversion. I'm using 18 count ADAT. I'm just using the Bothy Threads kind of pattern from the kit. I'm not using anything else. This is in another Penelope's pocket bag. This is a 12 Days of Christmas bag as well. Isn't that cool? Love Sarah's back. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to show you the pattern there. I don't think anyone could stitch anything from that. There we go. Forgot that was on the front. Sorry. Okay. That is basically it. I have, oh yeah, so when I had to buy that one skein of thread, I was like, well, can't travel on its own, can it? So I did buy a couple of things. I bought these are both, actually one of these is new. This has been out a while though. This is a With Thy Needle and Thread Keep with the Pins book, which I thought had some nice smalls in. Love the tomatoes. I'm sure you've all seen that before. And then I think this was a Needlework Expo release. I didn't really buy very much at Needlework Expo, and as I say, I only bought this because I can't travel alone. This is Hello from Liz Matthews Poppy. I love that. Sorry you're getting a bit of glare from the window. And so yeah, so I bought those with a bit of thread. I am trying to really cut down on my purchases, simply because I don't intend to do any new starts next year, apart from a big birthday start, because it is my big birthday next year. And I think I know what that is. I think I've already got that planned, but no, more on that nearer the time. I've only just had this year's birthday. I'm going to enjoy the last year of my 30s first. Yeah. Oh, I bought one other project bag from Penelope's Pocket. What this really cool autumn one. I know she doesn't have any more of these ones left, I don't think, but she does have one that's got a very similar pumpkin thing. So if you like this, go for it. And also if you're in the US, definitely go for it, because the pound's tanked, so you know it'll be like 3 pence for you. So yeah, go buy a project bag from Sarah. That is it. That is it. I've done this in under half an hour. I've probably gabbled. I've said a lot. It's been a big old mess and jumble of sections, but I hope you liked it. Sorry it's a bit, I don't think I'm going to edit it either. So you're going to see me in all the sneezy, re Flosstube faux pas glory. I'm going to try and film again in 2 weeks. I need to get back on a regular schedule, but I will warn you that for most of October and November, it may be very samey in terms of what I stitch on. But next year, I finished the Snoopy, and I'm going to finish this alphabet this year. And so all my kind of commitment stitching, everything I feel I need to stitch for other people to get it done and to get it off my back, will be done. And I can swee away. If you don't know that, that's stitch what you want when you want. And I have lots of lovely projects, which is why no new starts next year. I don't need any. I've got so many lovely things. Yeah, that is it. That really is it. I am waffling. I am going to go. Thank you very much if you stuck with this to the end. You've done well. I have not. And I will see you next time. See you later, Stitchers. Bye.